Fat City is a 1972 film directed by John Huston. This is written by Leonard Gardner, and we have a cast including Stacy Keach, Jeff Bridges, and Nicholas Colasanto. And it's because of Colasanto that I became aware of this, and I read the description, and I thought, it's unlikely that I'm going to enjoy this. But there have been plenty of films that I've watched because of somebody who's in the film, and I didn't think I'd care for them, and they were a pleasant surprise. While there's nothing wrong with Fat City, I can say that I didn't really care for it. And I think it is just personal preference. It's about two boxers, their own walks of lives, their own careers, the problems in their lives, the obstacles they have to overcome. It is definitely, for me at least, very character driven. We have Tully and Ernie, and the characters are well written. But for me, the narrative itself was very boring. And that's partly because I don't care about boxing, but actually the boxing aspect was okay. I didn't dislike it. It's just everything around about it I found to be quite slow, and because it is quite character driven and I didn't really care for the characters, they're not my kind of characters, I wasn't really emotionally invested in the journey. So I'd say for the most part, it's definitely about personal preference. But that being said, I'd say that it was also a little slow in places and the characters could be a little bit more interesting. So I'd say maybe 85% is down to personal preference. But if you are a fan of this kind of story, where we have two boxers and their own problems, their own walks of life, then it might appeal to you. If you like boxing, certainly that aspect will, I think, work very well for you. It is a little slow, but in general, it's not terrible. The characters are well enough written, they're believable, the performances are very good, but for me that doesn't necessarily make them the most likeable individuals. So for me there weren't enough elements to make this an enjoyable experience. But having said that, it has 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb across 11,000 reviews and ratings. It has a Metascore of 89, which is pretty phenomenal. So there's definitely an audience for it. It definitely seems to appeal to a lot of people. As I said, I knew going into it that it would be unlikely that I'd love it. Not impossible, but certainly unlikely. And unfortunately on this occasion, my prediction was correct. It's by no means the worst film ever, but for me, it was only just watchable. So maybe if the characters had been a little bit more likable, maybe if the narrative was a bit more interesting, I would have liked it more, which seems like an obvious thing to say. But as I said, mostly down to personal preference. Do I recommend it? Only if there's a reason why you think you'll enjoy it. If you're just looking for a good film experience and nothing about this really speaks to you, then I'd say, based on my experience, it's probably not worth watching. You're probably not going to enjoy it. But if you like boxing, if the characters sound interesting, I realise I've not given that much detail about the characters, but I found them to be quite boring. So for me, there's not a tremendous amount I want to talk about. If you're curious, check it out. But if not, for me at least, or from my perspective, I don't think you'll be missing out on too much.